Well, I suppose, Martin, the most important thing from an Arsenal point of view is just to get the 3 points and get out of here. That's all that matters at this stage of the season.
Smash and grab. I think Arsenal, though, were more than that today. Really good professional performance. You know, if you want to be champions, we don't know if that can happen yet, but you're certainly in the mix. You've got to grind out these sorts of evenings, and I thought they were immense, particularly at the back. So, you know, to come here and win, whenever you win here, it's sort of, you talk about titles, don't you? Certainly in my era. And maybe we're talking about it this year as well for this group.
And that is why I think post-match Mikel Arteta was so keen to stress the mentality of his team.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Maybe we were questioned last year. They didn't have the mentality to go all the way to the last game of the season. Now they do. It felt at times today, Mark, I was a wee bit nervy at times, but rightly so. At 1-0, anything can happen, a slip over, a mistake, and you know, Man United get back into the game. But I think overall they deserve to get the 3 points.
Those nerves are understandable, aren't they?
Well, of course they are. And you think of the history of this fixture, and I thought it was weighing a bit heavy on the team. They know if they can get the job done, the next one's Everton at home, put that pressure back onto Man City, and you could just feel that tension tingle in the air. And it was a long game for me. Watching when Arsenal went in front, it was nervy, but I just thought the way they were defending, those two central defenders were quite magnificent today.
So now it moves on to Manchester City and their game at Tottenham, and the pressure is back on them.
The pressure's on them, of course, chappers, but they've been there before. They've ran the race the last three times. Of course, they can make Premier League history by winning it 4 times. Of course, 4 times Premier League champions, never been done before. And watching the game yesterday at Fulham, they were so in control. I think I was more nervous actually watching than it seemed that the players on the pitch. They just oozed confidence. They just knew the goals were coming. I mean, Guardiola was brilliant at left back. He scored a couple of goals and just.
You're making it sound like it's no problem.
Well, it is no problem. It feels like, you know, I even met some Man City fans yesterday on the way down. It was like they're more nervous about Fulham, and then like Fulham just got swatted out of the way. And now, obviously, people looking at the run-in, the toughest game everyone sort of said was Tottenham away, second last game of the season. And can Tottenham do their favours Arsenal a big favour?
That would be unique if they could do that. I was at Craven Cottage yesterday, and they did play like champions, but they're not champions. Arsenal are making it really very difficult. So it's over to Spurs. Let's see if they can do us a favour.
They obviously don't have a hurdle to get over in the same way that Arsenal did here. So that changes, as Shay says, because they've been there, done it, that does slightly change their mentality.
But also they're not relying on anybody else. They win all their games. They know they're champions. So we're now relying for somebody else to slip up. Ironical, the last 3 games of the season for City are against London clubs. So let's see. There's West Ham to come as well. But Arsenal, the most important thing is Arsenal making this difficult for City, and that Pep's not sitting there with a bottle of red wine tonight as a champion. Arsenal are taking it right to the wire.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, when I was a kid at Blackburn, they won the league, and I remember the last game of the season they went to Anfield, and Liverpool beat them 2-1. And I think Jamie Redknapp scored a free. Didn't know to celebrate, and the crowd as well was all really quiet within Anfield. It'll just be interesting to see what the atmosphere is like on Tuesday night.
It will.